My name is Kurt Isaacson, and I'm the Director of Bands in Shelby, Michigan, a small rural school on the shores of Lake Michigan, where I teach 6th grade to 12th grade band. I'm currently a student at Full Sail University, where I'm just completing my master's degree in educational media design and technology, and this is my action research project. I was looking for a way to teach musical instrument scales to my students in 7th and 8th grade band. My classes usually consist of over 50 students with a variety of instruments, each requiring their own list of specific scales and fingerings. The time to teach and introduce these skills to such a diversity of students is difficult to accomplish in the limited time I have with them, compiled with all the performances and other objectives of the class. In reviewing relevant and peer-reviewed literature on the subjects of musical scales and technology, I found many articles of support for the value of teaching scales to all musicians. The ability to read music quickly translates the notation to a kinetic skill that is imperative to having a mastery of music. Technology can be a great and important tool for today's learners. Computers and other devices in the classroom can be a gateway to quality learning and capturing the attention of the new learner. Daily, students use technology in various forms, and harnessing that important skill to teach is an excellent avenue for success. I made the choice to create a learning environment for my middle school band students on my band's website that I host. This site includes a series of specific scales necessary for that age level and expertise, and I addressed each of the instruments I teach in our class. This includes 8 different instruments with 7 separate scales, 57 individual pages in all. The main scale page introduces the student to many features that will help them learn the scales. This includes an introduction to the page, a link to download a fingering chart, also a link to download a printed sheet of the scales, a flash presentation to show the value of the scales, an accompaniment jam video to help them practice, and a table of all the scales available. As the students click on each of the scales, each individual page would have the specific scales using an embedded printable and playable notation of the scale using NoteFlight, which is a Web 2.0 tool, and a video of the scale performed by a student showing proper posture, fingerings, and tone. This learning environment incorporates all these features to ensure a student has a complete set of tools to learn the scale. Each student is simply assigned the group of scales, given instructions on the use of the site, and then the due dates for each particular scale. The scales are performed in front of me, or a video of the performance is sent to me for a grade. My action research project consisted of 2 cycles, where in the first cycle I had the basic site set up and the students were invited to learn the scales. They were also given a printout of the scales and time to rehearse. After tabulating the results from the first cycle, I concluded that generally the students did as expected and learned the required material well, and could not only play the scales but also could write out the scales with all the necessary key signatures and accidentals. 74% of the students passed. However, I was alarmed by the students' lack of interest in the actual learning site. When asked why this resource was not called upon, the answers included they had no access to a computer when they had their instrument and the time to work on it. They weren't accustomed to accessing schoolwork on a computer. The resources were not needed because they had the worksheet and they had been instructed many times on the procedure to accomplish similar goals. Many felt if the scales were more difficult, in other words, the next level, the website would be used more. In cycle 2, I completed all the media for the site, and this included all the videos and all the notation. And I assigned the same students in the same set of scales with even better results. A total of 87% of the students passed. Because I was using the same set of students, however, it was difficult to really assess the improvement, but I was encouraged by the newfound access to the internet. When surveying the students again after cycle 2, I found that many had discovered internet access at other locations other than their home. We also made an effort to have better computer access at school. I believe the real test of this learning environment I created will begin next year when I have a whole new set of students waiting to learn their instruments and play music. Many of the courses at Full Sail University were crucial to my success in this action research project. Full Sail University had a comprehensive and logical set of courses to guide me through the process of my action research project. To ensure a reliable and academically sound value for all our work, the coursework included multiple learning theory applications where we were submerged into learning models and the best ways to get our content across to our learners. Educational design and evaluation, which helped design in detail the actual project and the baselines for the evaluations in our project, and training and motivational development to ensure we were able to communicate in a concise and up-to-date method. Other courses that were of tremendous value in creating the actual media for my project were Filmmaking Principles class, where I learned to analyze and create quality instructional videos. Digital Media Applications helped me create a flash presentation that is located on my site that is watched by every student, and Musical Theory and Education Applications, where I was able to create a quality soundtrack for my media as well as create a jam video for all my students to use as they learn the scales. Concert B flat. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Adding to this intensive set of courses, the Learning Management Systems and Organization course helped me to assemble all my learning tools and media into a comprehensive environment that helped facilitate my entire project. After completing this course, I plan on continuing this project with a simpler set of scales for my beginning band, as well as a more extensive set of scales for my high school band. This is quite an undertaking because of the vast number and scope of the scales involved. This would include 14 instruments and 24 scales, which adds up to about 336 more videos and more pages. But I've already started on this project and I've recruited many of my top high school students to help me for extra credit. I would like to open up this project to the MSBOA, which is the Michigan Band and Orchestra Festival, to use with their students. I've already had discussions with many of the directors, and some are already using it. I also plan on presenting at one of the major music conferences in the Midwest. This is Kurt Isaacson, and thank you.